I get hungry just thinking about what is coming up on this next episode of Atlanta Tech Talks. I'm sure many of you have a favorite cooking show or culinary competition on television, or have even dreamed of becoming a master chef. Well, we definitely have a treat in store for you. Here at Atlanta Technical College, we have a state-of-the-art culinary facility and a nationally accredited program that has trained some of the world's best top chefs and culinary savants. Hi, I'm Tamora Jones, Program Chair of Culinary Arts and Hospitality and Tourism Management here at Atlanta Technical College. And I'm excited to welcome you to our latest installment of Atlanta Tech Talks Student Takeover Edition. In this episode, you get to hear from not one, but two of our current Atlanta Technical College students who can give you a taste in the life of culinary arts students. You'll have an opportunity to take a peek into their journey and find out what's cooking that just might tantalize your taste buds. Let's take a listen to our latest episode of Atlanta Tech Talks Student Takeover Edition.
Welcome to our latest edition of Atlanta Tech Talks. I'm your host, Jason Warner, and this is the Student Takeover Edition. And as you see, we're in the Culinary Arts program in the kitchen. Atlanta Tech continued to amaze me because we walk into these classrooms. Generally, we've been doing this podcast with the partners in the program. So now we're here with students, and we're in the classroom where they're actually doing work. This is state-of-the-art equipment where these scholars are learning from the best of the best. And we have two of our standout scholars with us today, Miss Kiana Bryant and Mr. Lamont Farabee. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Please talk to us a little bit about, one, your journey into cooking, and your passion and that journey of becoming a chef.
Well, I think being a chef is something that I've always wanted to do. When I was little, I used to always watch Food Network channel. I was up all night just watching all the cooking shows, and I used to help my grandma cook in the kitchen. And even when I went to my friends' houses, I wouldn't be the one playing outside. I would be in the kitchen with their parents trying to learn as much as I can and asking them all types of questions. So that's basically where my passion comes from. And what I currently do right now, I'm a pastry cook at Lazy Betty. It's a fine dining tasting restaurant. Most of my background is in pastry, but I kind of wanted to hone in on my skills in both areas, so that's where I'm at right now.
So, Mr. Farabee, I heard that you kind of handy with those knives. Talk about your passion and how did you get into this?
Okay, so I guess I started when I was a child. So I come from a huge family. I got over 200 cousins in Southern San Diego alone.
We're going to pause. This brother said he has 200 cousins, so he's really cooking.
Yes.
So 200 cousins.
So basically we used to have these cookouts, get-togethers, and that's just how we had our family time together. At the end of the day, I can't get in the kitchen and not have that, I feel my aunties right here on the back of my shoulder, you better get that right. Better cut that right. They're going to taste it. But if they don't like it, they're going to say so.
That's amazing. We think about the foods and just talking about foods make you hungry, right? Yeah. We were talking off camera and you're known as a pastry chef, but you're so much more than that. Talk about how chefs can get pigeonholed into a space, but you're expanding beyond that a little bit.
Well, for one, a lot of times when I talk to people or when I tell people that I do both pastry and savory, they ask me, well, which one do you like most? And then when I say I like both, they'll be like, oh, I don't like bacon. They be like, people who are pastry chefs are weird. You have to have a specific type of personality to be a pastry chef. And I just don't think I fit into one of those boxes separately. I love doing both.
And let's go back to 200 cousins, right? Literally, you all are, you have to feed the masses. It wasn't just let's go to the restaurant,
no,
right?
Not at all.
So, and you were able to pick that up. So talk about now, how did you take that passion to the classroom? What was that like for you?
I guess that's more so dealing with whole bunch of different personalities.
Right.
That comes natural to me. So I don't really get too flustered, at least in front of anybody. I might go to the back and yell a couple times, but besides that, it's really easy for me to get along with the people around me. I can see what somebody's good at, especially coming from a leader's perspective.
Right.
I can see what somebody's good at, use them for what they're good at, and if they're weak in this certain area, I can help them get better in that area, but without getting frustrated. Taking them through the paces. Let's see what we can do over here. Let's do it little by little. If you're strong right here, I'm gonna use you where you're strong at, so we can make sure we get this job done.
It's interesting that you say that, right? So at ATC, we have people coming from all walks of life. Both of you actually work in the field while you're learning, right? You're at a restaurant, you're at another restaurant. So talk about how the things that you learn in life, and then you're coming into the classroom. So how does that balance off? Like, how do you take some of the things that you learn in the classroom back to the job and things that you bring into the job and say, hey, how do I put this in our profession?
Well, I think that was the best decision I could have possibly made, was working in the field and going to school, because it translates either way. So being in class, learning something, and then going to work, it's like, oh, okay, I already know how to do this. I know how to incorporate this. Oh, and then now I have an idea.
Right.
Can I use this? Can I do something different on the menu for today? Can I do it like a special? Because I learned this over here and I know I can elevate this over here, because at the end of the day, what happens is when you get into this business, sometimes you forget some of the things you learned in college. So to be able to like bring that back, some of the chefs really appreciate that.
And Ms. Bryan, you also are working in the field and in school at the same time. And you said that you've always been in the kitchen. So, from being in the kitchen as a little kid to be in the kitchen in a professional setting to be in the kitchen in the classroom, how does that translate for you? And what do you think? Does it enhance those skills? Do you feel like sometimes, I feel like I know more than my colleagues at work because I'm in this culinary program?
Oh, no, well, I don't think that. I think as far as pastry goes, I started working as a pastry cook before I took baking class here. So once I got a gist of like certain terms and stuff, once I took baking and I was able to apply that to what I was doing at work, it made a lot more sense in my head as to why I was doing certain things. And then with the little bit of line work that I have, the experience that I have, it made me move a lot faster, especially in this class. Like, I had a better understanding of how to do, like, cook to order and things like that.
So both of you, from a student's perspective, right? If someone is thinking about coming into the Culinary Arts program here at Atlanta Technical College, what would you advise them to think about before they came in, right? We see this amazing kitchen, and this is just one of multiple kitchens that is here on campus. So what are some of the things that you would tell them to think about as they're coming into this journey?
Patience.
So patience, you got to take your time?
Well, take your time, but also patience with everything around you. Patience with
the team, your teammates, your classmates, the teachers.
the fire that you could be cooking with, the knife that you have in your hand. All that takes patience, because you can easily cut your finger off. You can easily burn yourself. I feel like I have pretty good experience. I got 2 burns on my hand from yesterday from the event that I did.
Wow.
It's all about patience. Like she said, you have to have patience with your teachers. The thing is, you'll get in here and you think, well, I've been cooking at your grandma's house.
Right.
You know a little something.
Right.
Then your teacher like, you don't know nothing. Yeah. And you got to be able to swallow that pill and then like capitalize on what they're telling you to do, so you can actually learn and actually hold that knowledge.
So not only patience, it's a humbling, right? Because we all come in with different backgrounds and skill sets, and someone told you were great before you came in here, right? Mm-hmm. So think about, you talked a little about, you worked at a program last night and you're cooking, you're using all those utensils. Talk about what that day in the life of a culinary arts student here is. Like, what are some of the things you get to do and experience in this program?
Well, we do cook for a lot of events. We did Bridge Builders last night. We do Progress and Priorities, but it's basically formulating a menu, whether it be the students doing that or we have someone else to put the menu together and getting all the recipes together. Everyone is delegated to specific duties throughout the menu, so everyone knows exactly what they have to do, and it's basically just making sure all the mise en place is done and transporting all the equipment and necessary tools needed to each place for the particular events.
So, it's interesting, right? We have two folks on the show, and you guys are not just ordinary chefs. You're ICEP scholars, right? Like you're top of the top because from what I understand, not everyone gets into this program. And they're taking talent from all around the country to get in this program. You all had the opportunity to study in Charleston, South Carolina,
Yes.
Under some amazing chefs. Talk about your experiences in Charleston, and what you're going to bring back to your professional life.
For me, I think it was a very big learning experience as well as an eye-opener. I worked under a French pastry chef, and it was not easy at all. And I would be sad, like, if I come home after being yelled at or just frustrated sometimes. But after I was done with the program, I had a chance to actually think about everything. And I was like, that really helped me build a thicker skin, because I'm probably going to deal with people that's probably going to do the same thing and maybe even 10 times worse as I progress in this industry. So it just helped me to get out my feelings, I guess.
For me, it was, me and her had definitely had two different kind of experiences, but my experience, I was with this, a chef, her name was Michelle, her name is Michelle Weaver. I guess Forbes calls her like the superstar chef of the South.
Oh, wow.
So being under her, she taught me so much about leadership. She taught me so much about just honing my skill and developing on a daily basis, studying constantly. And then besides just being there and working in Charleston, also the camaraderie that we built with the other 12 students, because it was 14 students altogether that learned into the program. Just the camaraderie that we built together, it showed us how to build teams, showed us how to do team buildings, because it wasn't only that we were working and that we were with these other students. Every Tuesday we had a get together in a meeting, basically, where we went over like how to write a resume, so we have a panel of HR people that were our hospitality field, or we had team building exercises where it was like they had these, I think they were recreational people that came in and they did a whole program for us to do like team building exercises.
Yeah.
They taught us how to eat in a fine dining facility, etiquette class. It was amazing. Like how to have a business meeting but eat food at the same time, how to take little bites so you can finish eating fast and you could talk and get your point across at the same time. Just those little things help a lot when it comes to building your brand or getting out in this world and getting into this industry.
And that's one of the things I love about ATC. It's not just sitting and taught at. It's really experiential learning. Think about when you first came into this program. What would you say is that wow that you didn't expect even coming? It could be first time stepping foot on campus. What was that wow for you?
Maybe it was that, because straight out of high school, I originally went to the University of West Georgia, and I was majoring in accounting, but it just wasn't working out for me. And I always knew that I wanted to go to culinary school, I should have just listened to my mom and listened to myself even, instead of thinking, oh, I have to have a bachelor's degree and I have to do certain things. I could have just came straight to culinary school and got my associate's degree here. So once I came back home and I applied and I got in and I finally stepped foot on campus, I think that was the wow factor for me. I was excited that I was actually doing what it is that I want to do.
For you, Mr. Lamont?
So my wow factor was talking with the teachers. So I wanted to be a chef for a long time, but I didn't ever think it could make me money. So I stood back from it. And then I finally was like, you know what? I don't really care if it makes me money. I just want to do what I love doing. So I came and I talked to one of the teachers, and she's actually Chef Blocker. She's the reason that I even started I saw on the water company. And she's the reason I started my water company, because of the things she told me and how I can make money in the culinary field. So now it's like, okay, I can do what I'm passionate about. Now I can also pay my rent.
That's awesome.
So I can't be mad at that at all. That was my wow factor.
So, coming into this program, we're about to wrap up, but what would you say is that secret ingredient to be successful? Because you two are the top of the class, right? You guys are doing some amazing things. What would be that secret ingredient for students coming into the program so that they can be successful in the culinary program here at ATC?
I would say definitely keeping an open mind, as well as Just continuing to be a student of life. Don't come in thinking that you know everything. Be open to constructive criticism, because that's what's going to help you get better in the long run. So
Keep going. Like, you're gonna get tired, you're gonna get frustrated. Just go past it. You know, like, pain is temporary.
So I'm gonna ask you a similar question, right? We close every show with this. And this is not about culinary now. This isn't just about life. We want to leave everyone with the Atlanta Technical College success tip, right? So this is your ATC success tip. It could be from hanging out with your 200 cousins. This could be being in the kitchen at your friends' houses when everyone's out playing. But this is a success tip for life. So Atlanta Tech Talk success tip. Leave us with one and we're going to close this out.
do your research. Learn.
Create connections, network, and then water those networks. You know, let them grow, build real relationships. Because at the end of the day, when you leave school, those are going to be the things that help you get to the next position or get to the next place. I mean, it's a lot of times not about what you know, it's about who you know. But if you know something and you know somebody, you can go.
And this has been an amazing show. Listen, I know myself and the production crew, we're gonna have to come and taste your food somewhere before you guys are next celebrity chefs when we can't afford it. We're on a tight budget, but definitely want to taste some of the things that you're doing. This program and all the programs here at Atlanta Tech this is what it's about, and this is why I love the Student Takeover Edition. And this has been the Atlanta Tech Talk Student Takeover Edition. I'm your host, Jason Warner. If you want to learn more about the programs like the Culinary Arts program here at Atlanta Tech, visit atlantatech.edu and give a special shout out to our president, Dr. Victoria Seals, and our marketing and communications department, Ms. Werdelin, and the team. So thanks a lot. This has been Atlanta Tech Talks. See you next time.